Hello and welcome. If you make pop punk, emo or similar music, then hopefully this channel can help. I'm always on the hunt for free amp sims that can do a good job in pop punk and emo. And this amp sim from Black Rooster Audio does a great job. So let's dial in some settings that will really work for this kind of music. So this is how the amp sounds as soon as you open the plugin. It's not that usable, but with a bit of tinkering, using these very simple controls, we can get it to sound great. So I feel the gain is up too high for this kind of music. And also I did notice when playing around with this amp that the volume control changes the sound dramatically, not just the level. So let's start tinkering with these three knobs we have here and see what we get. Cool, so now that's sounding more like a pop punk amp, or how I would expect it to sound straight out the box. Turning the volume up on this just changed the sound completely. It got rid of that thin sound, and then bringing the gain down stopped it from being too grainy. So from here we can shape it further with EQ. So let's hear it in context with the rest of the mix. Cool, so it's sitting a bit nicer, definitely needs some EQ now. Let's refine this sound a bit further. So I'm using the Pro Q3 from FabFilter, but you can use any free EQ that comes with whatever DAW you're using. We're not doing anything fancy here. So straight away you can see that the high pass and low pass filters are already naturally there from the cabinet part of the amp sim. So we don't need to affect anything there. I can just hear those hissy resonant frequencies, so we're going to go pull those out. Cool, so we got one there just above 2K. When I bypass this cut and bring it back, you can really hear that hiss disappear. Yeah, a really important cut. I think I can still hear a couple more, so let's go find them. Cool, got another one there in between the 3 to 4K region. I can hear one more, I think, that's causing problems. And obviously we're making this tone a bit duller by doing this, so we're going to affect that in the next stage, so keep watching for that. So hopefully you heard there when I bypassed all three cuts, the massive difference and how much more clear and defined the tone became. The actual essence of the tone stays intact, we're just getting rid of the mess. Now there's a couple of mid-range frequencies, so we're going to pull those out and get a more tight tone. Let's find those now. Cool, so let's quickly A-B those mid-range cuts and see if we're improving the tone. Yeah, so we're cleaning up some honk there. I think it really does tighten that tone a lot. Let's hear the whole EQ off and on and see if we've actually made it better. Yeah, so that's such a great improvement. It tightens the tone up. I think you get a little bit of extra width when those mid-range cuts are engaged. And we're just cleaning up the mess and making it more in focus. And like I said earlier, I am aware it's got a little darker, so we're going to go and brighten this up now. Just quickly, if you make music like this and you want me to mix your next release, then head over to my website, terrybeckleyrecording.com. Hit me up via the contact form. I will get back to you. The link is in the description. So I'm going to use the free EQ that comes with Logic. You can use any EQ. And we're just going to go for a top-end shelf. We're going to try and start this shelf high up. So it might look ridiculous, but it's only going to be really affecting the sort of 6 to 8K region. But let's give it a go. Cool, so that brings some life back into the guitars, opens them up. Look how ridiculous that shelf looks. But where it's 8K, and you can see that the tone slopes off before that anyway. So we're only really lifting everything from about 2.5 here very gradually, and then it sort of gets steeper here as the actual energy starts to disappear anyway. So that's why it's a smooth top end. So we get rid of the harshness in the 2 to 4K area, and then we boost air, and we get this open tone. And it works really well on this amp, and it's free, which is great. Cool, so I'm pretty happy with that. I feel like this tone and these guitars could do with a little bit of compression. I think it would really help sort of tighten them up and give them a bit more life and energy. So I'm going to use one of the built-in compressors from Logic. Right, so I've got the FET compressor, which is effectively an 1176. Let's play around with this and get the vibe that we want. Cool, so that's the sweet spot there, I think. Try to get it so that when I turn the compressor off and on, it doesn't trick us into just making it louder. But we've slowed the attack down and made the release really fast. So we're getting a lot of that attack. And it's really helping those guitars lock in with the quick tempo of the song. You won't be able to hear a volume jump, but try and hear a slight vibe change and a bit more aggression from the guitars. And they should be a lot more pinned in. Yes, it brings them forward, gets them in your face a little bit more. Again, guitars are already pretty compressed once they go through the amp and everything, so this is just to get a bit of character out of it. But I think it really does add a nice little extra 2%. So if you like how this amp sounds, go grab it from Black Rooster Audio. It's completely free. And if you want to see more videos on pop punk guitars or mixing pop punk and emo, then have a look at my channel. You'll find loads of videos on those topics. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.